Take two. Oh my goodness. I might give up before I even start. I'm going to see if in my live tab if there is a take two. If is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? If there's anybody out there, say hello. Hello, hello. Okay, it looks like I'm live again. But this time I don't even have Cammy, but that's okay. Cammy's, I think she's getting ready to head home. She was the only one that made it because she got the notice. Okay, so what I was talking about, in case this is take two, I did talk a little bit about this in take one. I had a nice little pretty thumbnail and everything on that one. But what I was trying to talk about is my cruise, the cruise that we just came off of. I wanted to say why we cruise out of New Orleans versus cruising out of Galveston, and did I like it? Did I not? Those kinds of things. I was trying to upload the thumbnail, but I can't. I cannot upload the thumbnail. So we planned it with Candy's Sweet Love for LV. She had reached out to me, had said she knew, you know, obviously because on my channel that I love to cruise. My family and I love to cruise. Well, correction, my husband and I love to cruise. Our family love to cruise. Our family will, you know, like to cruise along with us sometimes. And our BFFs, our hometown BFFs, they like to cruise with us as well too. Which is, so she reached out and wanted to know if we wanted to do a creators cruise, you know, meet up for the first time, that kind of thing, and hang out, because it was just going to be, you know, her and her family at that time, and they just wanted a little bit extra. And I was like, sure, you know. Also, too, at the back of our minds, we had discussed and we were thinking, since I am dabbling a little bit in the, what's it called? Travel agent. I have all the dues and don'ts. I really just do it for close friends and family, and close friends and family that do not make lots of changes, do not do a lot of stuff, who are not used to doing it on their own, you know, that kind of stuff, because you know, it does help. I do get a little bit of commish off of that. Helps them too, because I am privy to, like, you know, my experience. I do get certain cabins that maybe you don't get on the open market, but sometimes you can get on the open market cabins that I can't get, you know. And that's how it is for any travel agent and travel agency that they do deal with. Man in red, woo! All right, man in red, it's just me and you here. You be on a nice and good behavior, because even though it's just me, if you're not in a good behavior, I'll block you. Thanks for joining me. There is no title to my live because I can't go and edit it from here, and I'm on the live. I am talking about my cruise vacation that we just came off of in July from New Orleans. So if you're interested, hang out. If not, I'm going to do this on the replay. Dee Dee, who is your favorite tennis player or tennis player you know? I'm old school. I don't really watch anybody anymore. My favorite tennis player was Andre Agassi back in the day, before he was so controversial. Well, he was always controversial, but back in the day. Hi, Osmond Griffins. Welcome in. You gonna play nice too? Y'all are welcome to be here, play nice. But I don't want you to hijack my live either, because I have some things I want to talk about to my peeps. To my peeps. Do you have, Man in Red, a favorite tennis player? Are you watching the matches right now? My husband actually watches it. We were watching it. I don't know who we were watching though. I honestly don't know who we were watching. I did watch Wimbledon, but only when Princess Catherine came on and they were showing her, because I like her. You know, it's kind of a tie. The royal watching the royals and stuff is something that me and my mom did, and she's passed away now. But back to cruise talk and luxury talk and my channel talk. My channel talk is that I did like the cruise setup as far as when you go to the port and everything is mobile, like, and you stay in your vehicle, unlike Galveston. And so I can see why people get confused when they come to Galveston's port, which is our home port, versus doing like New Orleans or I think Alabama, because we cruised out of Alabama once and they have a similar setup, but not quite as good as the New Orleans setup. So the New Orleans, and I did have an intention to do vlogs. I did have intentions to, no, I just came from tennis camp. Oh, okay. From high school or college. Bye. Have a great day or night. Thank you. Tennis camp day or night. Tennis camp, high school or college. I guess is what I was asking. I would think it's probably high school, because college, I don't know whether the dates. No, you wouldn't be in school yet if you're in college. I don't think. I think you still have a little bit of time left. The cruise. Okay, so when you go to New Orleans, you go and you get in line to get in another line to go into the garage. They have a garage and a parking garage, and you cannot pre-buy. That's the only problem. You cannot pre-buy tickets for the garage. Thank you, Mammy, but I'm going to go ahead and I agree that Jesus Christ is good, but we don't, okay. We don't, so you get it, so then you eventually somehow, whichever way you come into the port, you travel in and you go to this big old line to get into the line to go into the parking garage. And hopefully I'll be able to do a little mini vlog that shows that process, because we couldn't video the whole entire process. But that part is really good. You've never been there before, so you get very anxious. I know my husband was very anxious, and I was like, just go with the flow. We had watched a couple of videos about it already, so I said, just go with the flow. But it's like, what if we're in the wrong line? I go, well, if we're in the wrong line, then we'll have to get in another line and we'll deal with it then. But we were in the correct line. They'll ask you, are you going to like park? Because you can park there. Or you can also park in other garages. Are you going to leave your luggage, or are you going to carry your luggage on? We always check our luggage. It's called, checking your luggage. Like you check your luggage with an airline, you check your luggage with a cruise ship. Going on a cruise, you also need to keep in mind that when you're cruising, that it's just like if you're flying. You have all those same safeguards, you have all those same checkpoints, you have all of that stuff that you have to do. It may seem more lax than doing airline. Hey, Don Donuts, welcome in. Everyone, it's just me and you. It's just me and you, babe. Me and you, babe. I got you, babe. This is my first live. I was on there. Cammie was on there. But this first live, it froze on me. I froze it. It started raining here. The minute that I hit go live, it started raining. So I'm just trying to talk cruise talk. I had a pretty thumbnail and what have you. But I had to start a new live stream. So here we are. Thank you for being here, Don Donuts. Thank you so much. So when so you have to take in the concept, which it took me a while. It took me like two or three cruises to actually understand and the Carnival cruise lady finally explained it to me. As far as that's concerned, is that you're cruising, especially because you're going international, you're doing a trip in and out of the states, and it's treated, the transportation aspects of it is treated just as if you were going on a flight. So thus, yes, you can use your birth certificate versus a passport, to cruise. Oh, thank you, Dawn. She says that looks so pretty. Oops, I just kicked that. How many cruises do you take per year? We take normally, since 2017, I think it was our first cruise, we take normally 3 cruises. We will take a just us cruise, and we actually only implemented that in the past like year or two. We will take a family cruise, which is family or friends that we consider family, that are friends of our children and things that used to be high school. I guess we started like high school age of my daughters, but then now adult children of our son and daughter, and then daughter-in-law and all that. So we'll go on a cruise with them. However, we've done that like 2 or 3 years, and that's usually a big group. I mean, there's usually like 15 to 20 of us in that group. This year they are not doing it. They want to save to do a different vacation. So so this year they're not cruising this year or next year with us. We're not doing a family cruise. And then the third cruise is a friends group, like my husband and I friends group. We have one particular couple that we always cruise with, and we've been doing a cruise every year since about 2017 with them. And then this past April we cruised with them, and we added an additional couple with us. They were long-term friends of us. All 3 of our boys played select baseball with us. So there's 3 cruises that we do a year, and the price points are very different. The family cruises are the most expensive because we get a suite, so our grandchildren can stay with us. Even though that's the shortest we do, that's a 5-day cruise, but it's a lot of expenses because we help pay for our kids and our grandkids, or we split the expenses with the other granny, and so that one's the most expensive. Then our friends group is cruise, a little less expensive. We save a little bit there, because that will be usually a balcony that we do for there. Sometimes a suite if we get a good deal. And then our couples cruise, which is just my husband and I, that one is our least expensive because we get an inside cabin, and we are just there to eat, sleep, and drink and repeat. Eat, sleep, drink, and repeat, this is the one we just got off of. Do you typically get off the ship to go shopping? And do you find the prices are pretty good when you do go shopping? Or do things cost more because of tourism? Good questions, Dawn. As Caleb Snell says, way to be curious. Yes, we at this point there's several itineraries that we have already been on, and there are kind of a repeat for the port. We go out of the port of Galveston, so, and even the ports that are close to us that are come out of the Gulf area, they all kind of go to the same area. So if we've already been there, so this itinerary we've been several times, which is this one that we just came off of, is we went to Nassau, the Bahamas. So we went to Nassau. First we went to Key West, and which is still the United States, and then we went to Freeport, which I don't really like that port it doesn't really have much. The city itself, we've never gone into the city. We've never done an excursion there. The port is just it's a boring port. There's nothing there. As far as the physicalness of being able to get around in that port, it's very easy. It's scooter friendly. It's handicap friendly. So that's good. And we got off once for several like the day of it, and then the second time was just a few hours because I wanted to shop real quick and come back on. Then the third port we went visited is Nassau, and we do love Nassau. We do love Nassau, although it is becoming now that when we first started cruising, I wasn't in the need of my scooter, and now I am in the need of my scooter, so it's a little bit more difficult in the city. However, the port of Nassau has a three-phase what's it called? Help me. 3-phase build up, you know, the expansion. So they've completed 2. They're working on the 3rd one. And so right now it's beautiful, like the port itself. And so you can go, when you're cruising, you can go and just be in the port, which means you are technically still in the habitats of the cruise line and the crew and what the cruise line owns and participates in and helps, or however they contribute to that port. And you're not in the actual city of wherever you're at. So they have built it up very well, which is like Cozumel. Cozumel is well too. It's a huge hub port. Nassau now is a huge hub port. Nassau now can fit 5. I think there was 5 huge ships in there, whereas you could only fit 1 or 2 smaller to medium sized ships. So it's now become a huge port. We love the food. We love the people of Nassau. We loved everything. Our restaurant that we used to like there, my husband's favorite beer is there. It's Kalik Light. But in the pandemic, the restaurants that we knew that we went to, there was a little restaurant and a little like a cantina, but they call it something else because it's not Mexico. It went under, and they might have come up somewhere else, but you know, we don't know where they popped up at. So it's also harder for me to go because they have cobble streets. The streets are broken. They do have sidewalks, but it's a lot of, like in Galveston, you saw how my hands were going, it's a lot like that. So it's become harder for me to visit these ports. They are handicap accessible, but they're not, it's like not, you know, they're friendly in the aspects that they accommodate you as best as they can, you know, with the resources they have, and they're very kind and nice, but it's hard. You know, if you were pushing somebody in a wheelchair, yeah, it would be very difficult. You would need to motorize something to be able to do it like an all day kind of thing. The shopping in the ports, okay, so you'll have to put your mind on that there's 2 different kinds of shopping when you're cruising, like, and when you hit to a port. You have the port itself. Now, the vendors who go in there have to pay, the government have to pay I guess the cruise line, or share their profits with the cruise line. They have to do all that. So they have to pay to be in there. Usually it's nicer, like the ports are nicer. So it's nicer for them as vendors to be there, but they're having to pay. So think of it when you go to a crafts fair and you have to pay the vendors have to pay at a craft fair a fee to be there. That's how the vendors are there. So thus they have to mark the items up more, but it's still cheaper. It's still cheaper than if you're shopping in the States. But it's more expensive in the port than it is if you're in the city, if you go into their cities. And the reason that being is because you go into the cities, you're paying for your shop space out there, and you're not paying for all the extra level of, because you have to pay for security as a vendor, you have to pay for insurance as a vendor, show proof that you have insurance as a vendor. So there's lots of layers to help the states, the countries that we visit, as well as the cruise companies, helps them to support all that. So it costs them quite a penny more. However, the ones that I talked to this time in Nassau and asked them, hey, because some of them had said that there was actually one, I said, you know, I bought this a few years ago over there, and they said, I used to have a shop over there, I chose to come here. And they still have the city shop, but it was further away, but they scraped up to be in the port area. And she said that it was, even at paying those extra additional fees, that it has benefited them as a business to do that. And they do the countries do different things, like they have co-ops. So if you look back in the days of Little House on the Prairie and stuff, they talked about having co-ops and things like that. They have the concepts of doing that, and so they pull their resources when they're individuals, sole proprietors, and they'll get into co-ops and do that, or they have their own businesses and they'll do that. And she says that it has been very profitable for them, and so they are enjoying in Nassau, I'm talking specifically for Nassau, that it was definitely a plus for them, the upgrades they did to the port itself. So when we got off in Key West, that was our first stop, and our goal was to make it to the furthest point, because that they have that like cork, and it's the furthest point that you're in the United States, because Key West, you're in the United States, but then you're like, what? Oh, I want to say 50 miles from Cuba, 50 miles from Cuba, and so that is so that's the attraction or whatever. We have never been able to make it there, because before I was ill, we were walking and we just never made it that far. We got tired. I got tired, And then the second time that we went was a Christmas, 2 Christmases ago, and it was freezing cold. We didn't even make it out of the port area itself, because it was so cold. We turned around and it took us 15 minutes to get off the ship, call our children, tell them Merry Christmas, and come right back on the ship. We were only gone 15 minutes off ship because it was so cold. We were like, no, we couldn't do this. And then this last time was here in July. We got off and with the intentions of trying to get there. Unfortunately, the streets were closed to go to that area. There was some things that were blocked and things. So the scooter access, the handicap access driving, I probably could have gotten there if we did a taxi and all that, but that's just like a nightmare. And so we didn't do that. We shopped around a little bit. In Key West, it's extremely expensive, because Key West is definitely a tourist town. It's an American tourist town, so you're paying taxes there, you're doing all that kind of stuff. So Key West is the very first time we went to Key West, maybe was it 2018 maybe, and my goal was to go to Hemingway's house. I wanted to go to Hemingway's house because he was one of my authors, poets that I like to read when I was reading. I don't read anymore. It was a long day, walking over there, because we were walking. I was not ill how I am now. How it was now. I didn't have the knee problems and all that kind of stuff, so I was walking, but it was still like, it was a long day. So we never made it to the furthest point, because we did that. So we did a tour. It's a walking tour. Now I don't think I wouldn't be able to do the entire tour now on my scooter or in a wheelchair or anything like that at Hemingway's house, because the house is tiny. And the rooms are tiny. That it's a big house. It's a massive house. The grounds are massive, but when you go into the house itself, of Hemingway's house itself, it was built, way back, 1800s, or well, I don't know. I'm making up stuff. Y'all are the history people, but it's one of them old houses. So small rooms, small doors, all that kind of stuff, So, and a lot of different layers, a lot of different. I remember having to climb stairs and stuff. The office he used to write in, which was the outside part. There's a huge steps to walk up and everything. So to be able to access and see all that, it's not something I could do now, all on my scooter. I could drive over on my scooter and then take pieces of it and walk up and down and what have you, do the grounds on the scooter, but you couldn't really see the whole thing. It wasn't that much of a cost back then. It was okay. It's raining. Oh, there it is. It was okay, but it definitely was, you have to really think about it if you have things that you have to consider, health issues and things like that to consider. But as far as the price points of shopping there, yeah, it's expensive. It's that's definitely touristic expensive. When we went the first time, it wasn't as expensive as it was this time, but it still was expensive, And so we didn't really do any shopping. We got off this time and we were like, we couldn't get to the furthest point, and we decided to come back. I don't even think we didn't get any food or anything like that, because that is a tourist town. We opted not to get off at Freeport, because like I said, Freeport, the port itself is kind of boring. We've never done any excursions there or anything, so I can't speak to that aspect of it as far as in the city. So we just don't don't really like the Freeport. I wish they kind of would take that away from the itinerary, and but it is what it is. But Nassau, we love Nassau. Nassau is great. Nassau's prices are great. Nassau's prices on they're a big jewelry hub. Their prices in the jewelry are great. Their prices, we never made it to the luxury end as far as if they have any kind of official luxury handbags or anything like that. There are replicas everywhere, and some will tell you the truth, and some will not tell you the truth, you know. So I don't know. I think most people, I want to say, know that they're entering a shop that is a replica shop. But I know that I was videoing, and I almost got accosted. I mean, she came and like pushed my hand down. No recording in here. No recording in here. So I don't know if it's illegal over there like it is here or like in other countries. I don't know, but that was a big deal. So I just turned around and left, and we went to another store, and other stores let me video and things like that. And I asked them, you know, what was the quality of these? How are these? And they're using the terms. It's a super. And they don't say the F word. They just say it's a super, and it's this price point, and they tell you the price point, but they say, but I can work with you, you know. So I just went and looked at them to see what they were. They let you feel, you know, depending on what the shops, you know, I wanted to feel the leather, feel the canvas, feel that kind of stuff or whatever. But everything, you find everything. Even contemporary. Oh my goodness, contemporary was probably more rampant of supers than the high-end luxury. I mean, there was replicas of Dior, there was replicas of LVs, there was replicas of Prada, Gucci. I'm trying to think what else I saw. Kate Spade, replicas. Coach, replicas. And I actually was able to spot some replicas on the Coach after my debacle, so I was very proud of myself. There are also all, you know, just other ones that you're thinking, random stuff that you're thinking, oh, Guess, because Guess is very big in the international, when we cruise, Guess, and what's the other one? I bought a Guess purse 2 or 3 cruises back, and I forgot what the other one is too, you know, which is a contemporary American brand, because it's American brand, so people want American brands, you know, so they're like huge, you know, so you got to be careful. Dawn says, that's really cool that you have those different types of cruises. Oh, thanks. Yeah, you know, we kind of do that, and we get our different kind of rest on different types. Sounds like a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Thank you so much. I wish I didn't get motion sickness so bad. Hey, I get car sickness, Dawn. I mean, like really, really bad car sickness, like throwing up, nauseous. It's like I have to fall asleep. So I use the patch. I get my doctor's prescribed the patch in the back for my back of, you keep in the back of the ear. I also carry, I don't do Dramamine because that's an actual like a just for nighttime emergencies if I need it, because that makes me drowsy. And I use Bonine, which is Bonine. I find that it is stronger. My doctor recommends it more, that as a better alternative than Dramamine, because it doesn't make you as sleepy, and it stays in your, works with your system a little bit better. So that's what I use, but I always carry Dramamine for everybody else, and at night if I need Dramamine to sleep. It's a little bit, it's very different because on a cruise, it's a bigger area. It's not like if you're in a car, and like I get car sickness, I get motion sickness. Well, Zane, when he it's Caleb's vlogs, Zane publishes them. I get car sickness when Zane puts the, you know, when you're doing the car and it's moving, I have to fast forward to that section or close my eyes or whatever, because that makes me that gives me motion sickness just from watching it on the video, much less being in a car. But every time I get sick, when we hit Houston, coming from home to Houston, I am so sick. And if I don't remember to put the patch on, then before I go, yeah, I'm done for. My husband's like, and the way the motion sickness patch behind your ear works is you're supposed to start it 3 days before you travel because you need it to be in your system. So I will do the patch 3 days before we travel. They're only good for 3 days, so I'll use it 3 days before I travel. Put a fresh patch on before we get in the car, and then and go. And so if I can remember to do that, then I'm okay as far as motion sickness in the car. There has only been one time that I got motion sickness on a ship, and then I've learned how to combat that. And we were in a tropical storm, a hurricane, whatever. It was the first time our son willed it on us. He willed it on us. But later we find out he had a dream about it, which is why he was fixated about it, you know. But I was okay, and the storm came in the last day that we were going to be at sea, our last sea day. So that night I had to pack because we had to have our stuff out by 11 for them to pick up the luggage, because we check our luggage. So what I have found is in the ship is if I'm looking down and up, if I'm bending over and up, then that messes with the equilibrium in your ear and your vision and all that, because all that is what causes your motion sickness. That is why I got sick. There was waves, like the ship was really moving, and I even walked, and you could feel like you would be like this, and none of that bothered me as much as I get car sickness, motion sickness in the car. None of that bothered me. Having the patch, I think I had the patch. I put on the magnets. You can also have some magnets. There's a watch, a wrist watch that you can put. There's also just these magnets you can get from Amazon. I put those on, and I took the Bonine. So I did all of that. So I was fine, but it was when I was packing. So now when we went to Hawaii, because I got motion sickness in the plane, but in the taxiing part, not the flying, but the taxiing. When we were taxiing back, you know, on and stuff, because it's a lot of movement, a lot of stuff, you're seeing all this kind of stuff. So I was feeling ill from the flight. And so when we went on started the cruise to Hawaii, I was feeling ill. So what we learned is my husband we had a suite, because we were there on ship for 14 days, and he put the suitcase on the sofa for me, so I didn't have to bend down. And so I didn't unpack for 2 days. I lived out of the suitcase, which is fine because everything was organized. So I would just go over there, sit on the chair, and I would take things out and not bend over or not look down and get up, so that I wouldn't. So after 2 days that I started just feeling better from getting over the plane ride, then I was fine, never worried about motion sickness. But I kept that patch on my neck. It did rain a lot when we were in Hilo. Oh my goodness, it rained so much. The ship, when you go to like out in the ocean to go to Hawaii versus like saying going to the Caribbean, Bahamas, what have you, when you're going when you're going to Hawaii, the waves are huge. I mean, the whales are out there. We saw whales, we saw dolphins, all of that, out there. And so the water's deep, and the ocean, you're gonna have a lot of motion. You're gonna have the ocean moving a lot. So in essence, yes, you have a lot more than you would have in a trip that stays closer to shore or shores, the shores along the way. But I found with the patch that you have on the doctor's office prescribes to you, doing the magnets and having the Bonine, taking that and having it on hand, then I was fine. I was fine. 14 days, no problem. I got sick again on the plane ride home. It wasn't being in the air or anything like that. It was the taxiing part, the motion, the smells of the gas, the fumes, all that kind of stuff, did all that, and I got sick on the way back. Hey, Jackie, Calvin Klein. Yes, Jackie, Calvin Klein. That's the other brand. Calvin Klein and Guess, huge sellers on the ships and in the ports. Yes, that was the other one. I bet you saw the tote, James. The tote. You know what? I did not. I actually expected to see that. The Marc Jacobs. I never saw any Marc Jacobs on people's person except for the one that I had. I carried one. This was my bag. This was my travel bag, and I didn't use it on ship. Like I kept it in my room, my office. I kept it in my cabin. Um, but but I didn't see anybody carrying them because they're carrying a lot of them. A lot of what I saw was bog bags, the BOGG bags. You're the ones that uh, Melissa's corner that she got into. Tara's boutique, she got into it. They carry a lot of that because everybody's going to the beach, so they want something that's beach friendly, and that is like the most friendliest bag ever. So there's a lot of those carried, a lot of slings, so a lot of Coach slings in the men's version. So I saw the men carrying a lot of them. A few of them carried them here. A lot of them carried on their back or on their shoulders. And then what I did notice is that because being in the scooter, you have a different point of view when you're looking at people. You're seeing different parts of them. So what I would notice is that the men would carry it on their back, and then as it got more crowded, they would put it on their shoulder as a shoulder carry of like the Coach sling. And then when it got really crowded, they would move it to the front like I normally wear my Vera Bradley. There are lots of Vera Bradleys luggage, the soft luggage, the carry, the travel cases, lots of those on the cruise ship and in ports because those also are easier to do it. Hi Ivy, hi Kindness Matters, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. I did not know you can cruise to Hawaii. Do you launch from Southern California? There's two places, I think. We went out of Long Beach, California, and you can also go out of Seattle, I want to say. I might be lying, but and yeah, it's a beautiful cruise. I actually I recommend doing Hawaii on a cruise. We went to five ports when we went to our Hawaii cruise. I don't know if I can name them all. We went to Hilo. We went to the big. They always say the big island. Gosh, I can't remember. My brain's not working. Fog. Shoot, I'll remember through it. So we visited 5 islands. The ports were the islands. So we didn't have to worry about flying from island to island. We didn't have to worry about getting a hotel at every island. Yes, we only spent a day at the Maui was another one. We only spent a day at each island. But however, they were long days, very, very long days that we were there. We did not plan an excursion anywhere. We did our own excursion. One day, which was in Maui, my husband booked a resort for us. So we stayed at a resort hotel that had a beach that you could see from the pool area. He rented us a cabana, so we had a pool cabana guy. He was very, very nice. The food was delicious. Some food was included. We got credit for that you could use at the company store, at the stores in there, or for food or whatever that they give you. I didn't make it down to the beach at all. My husband went to check it out, and it was too steep. The sand was so thick, he said, but it was that nice lush sand where your foot sinks into it, which because of my balance issues, I can't do that. So our cabana guy has said that he overheard us talking, and he said, we can get you to the beach. We'll take you down in the cart and go do that. Unfortunately, what had happened is, by the time he had heard our conversation, and then by the time he was able to connect with the walkie-talkies with the head guy, they had taken they had a special event going on, so all of their golf cart stuffs were wrapped up in there. So by the time they were done, we were tired, and it was time for us to get back to the ship. We are not those last minute get back to the ship kind of people. It's like we want to head out back to the ship like within 2 hours, and of sailing time, because we're not going to be no pier runners. No, 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 no. So he said, well, Jess, it's okay. Well, wait. I said, no, we got to go. Plus, I was extremely tired. We had been there a long time, and we had 24 access to the resort because we bought one of those passes for the day. So I didn't get to the beach, but I knew I was going to be able to touch a beach when we went to the next port. So I was okay not being at that beach. Cool. I'm near Long Beach. Yeah, Long Beach. Long Beach airports though, Ivy. Oh, that was the worst. I'll never fly out of Long Beach again. No, never say never, but I prefer not to. Oahu. Yes, Oahu. It's like a long trip to Hawaii. Yeah, it's beautiful because it was so much easier. You didn't have to think about all the external stuff as far as, which I can only make it to one or two islands. How am I gonna get there? All that kind of stuff. You go to sleep, the next day you were at the next island, and but I do highly recommend. You are in the United States, okay? Hawaii is part of the United States. It's a state. It is the United States. So you have taxes. You have the tourist industry, tourist taxes like you do in here in the States, what have you. And so it is expensive in the aspects of that. You can find things that are minimal, expenses, but there are things that are going to be expensive. Like for instance, we thought that we had not an all-inclusive resort, but we thought that the gratuity, and we thought that the service fees and stuff were going to be included in the hotel because it's hot. And when we rented the resort in Maui, the day pass in Maui, because of how they listed it online, so that we wouldn't, because normally when you do that, your staff, they do not approach you, or they do not put on any of your billing like an extra tip thing or whatever. They are usually very well. Okay, let me back that up a little bit. When we go internationally, and we do that internationally, when we go internationally, and they have gratuity included, they're not normally trying to solicit in any manner on your ticket or in the bill or anything extra gratuity because it's paid. You would know as a traveler that if you wanted to pay extra and you thought they did an extra good job, you're going to pay above whatever your included gratuity is. So when we went to Maui, we weren't expecting how the bill came in, and I was like, I thought we paid that, and he said that goes to a pool. It doesn't go. So he didn't. So I said, look, I want to be fair because you were great to us. And I said, so let me know how it actually really works. And I did follow it up with the concierge inside when I had to go to the bathroom. I went inside and I talked to them, asked them how it worked, because how they put it on the website was misleading as to when we got our final bill. And so it said gratuities included, but it was to a pool. It wasn't really to the cabana guy. That was separate. And I was like, ooh, I said, okay, well, y'all need to work that out, because the way you said, and I actually so happened to have, because I had my receipt with me, I always carry my paperwork with me in case they lose your, and it has happened, not to us, but has happened to people in our party. And I always make them print out their receipts or have it on the phone. I make them print it out and have it on the phone, because if you don't, for some reason you're in a spot where you don't have phone service and you can't get to your pictures, then you have the hard copy, which is why I overpack, which is why I'm an overpacker. And so I showed her, I said, see how this looks? I said, it's not, I don't think that that's fair, and it was misleading. So we paid him, not a problem. We gave him extra. He wasn't overtly a jerk about it or anything. He wasn't being, that kind or whatever. It's just because I'm a freaking traveler, and because I also have children who work in the service industries, I know to ask certain questions, And that's why I even know it. On a normal basis, before my children worked in the service industry, I would have not had any idea, and I wouldn't have paid them anything extra, you know, because I would not have known. By the way, you can take a glass bottom boat from Long Beach to Catalina Island. You can see the marine life. Yes, we actually are, the hotel that we stayed in, he had recommended that and he had some stuff, but I was so sick from the flight. Look, we ended up going 2 days. We flew 2 days early to Long Beach with the intentions that one day would be a recovery day, and then the second day we could go, because where we stayed is, we literally in Long Beach, we stayed right by what is that ship that's called, that Jackie, you know that ship, the Old Mary, the Saint Mary, it's that historical ship that's in Long Beach. Ivy, do you know? We were trying to stay there, but it was under construction and it wasn't available. Queen Mary, yes, Queen Mary. So we stayed at a hotel that was right by there, so we could walk to the port. I scootered, my husband, you know, walked and pushed the suitcase. So we were very close to the port. Across the way, there is a shopping center, and so we had planned that the second day we would go to shopping at the shopping centers there. But it took me the 2 days to recover from the motion sickness from the plane rides. And it's like, once again, it's from the takeoff and the landing of that. I stayed in the hotel the entire 2 days. My husband didn't go. He did go walk. He's so good. He's so good. He goes walks the path. If it's a new path, he went and walked the entire path. He went to go look. He took notes, you know, took snapshots, pictures, whatever, to remind him of, okay, here she can take her scooter here, but we're gonna have to go the long way this way so that she can get, you know, we can get off here. Instead of going this way where her scooter won't go. So he took that walk, you know, and he got to know the city. So he got to go over there and do that. And did he bring anything? He brought us some snack stuff back, but he's not really a huge shopper. But you know, we are all about the food when we travel, all about the food. So he brought us some snacks and stuff that were from California, which was nice. Don Donuts, I have to go finish something up for work. Sorry, bye. No problem, Don Donuts. Love you so much. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for coming in. Dee Dee, Kristen just went live. Kristen D, she did. Okay. Well, if you're gonna head over there, go right ahead. I didn't know that she was going live today. Usually she doesn't go live on. Maybe this is a clearance thing. I can't spend any money. Yeah, she's a reseller, so if you want to go watch her, go over there. She has great deals. Jackie, go over there, buy something. When she has clearance days, like today will be a day that she does dollar starts. Like they'll start off at $1, start off at $2, $5. So tell her I said hello. Yes, I'm going to interview her. Is it next Wednesday? No, that's Totes Jeans. Maybe August the 7th. She was one of the ones I had to reschedule due to my sickness. Maria, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. LOL, I already spent too much with Adrian. Well, thank you. I told Hadrian, I said, I may not be able to shop with you, but all my peeps, I'm sending all my peeps over to you. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to see what else you got from him. Woohoo. You'll have to send me pictures because I'm so behind, and I try to watch the videos in order but I did do a sneak peek instead of and watched your Ralph Lauren nylon that came out. Was it today or yesterday? I haven't watched any videos today. I think it was yesterday, or was it like really early this morning? So I watched that one of yours because I like the thumbnail was really cool about it. Missy bought that bag. Missy bought which bag? I know she bought a bag. She told me she bought a couple of bags. I just got shoes and a Kurt Geiger, a walk Kurt Geiger. Oh, I think I know which Kurt Geiger walk that you were talking about. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I love Hadrian. He had a live last night, but for my YouTube app on my iPad was totally messing up. They were doing an update on the iPad and for the YouTube app, and so it got stuck or something. It just kept clocking and clocking. I know Laura the Camel Chica, because said she was trying to upload something, it got stuck. So this morning I helped her upload hers and tell her what to do. So if for some reason your iPad app, I think it's specific to iPad app, because your app on your iPad and your app on your iPhones are different entities, if you will. So what I had to do, what they finally, the service, when they told me, was I had to shut down my laptop, my iPad, shut down the laptop, turn it off and turn it back on thing. That cleared out some of the fixes and everything. And then some of it just cleared out this morning by itself. Because I also couldn't get onto YouTube through Safari. I could get on through and do minimal through Google, which is how I was able to contact the service, the help desk for YouTube, which was really Google or something confusing. I don't know. The Coach Tabby Denim. Oh, yeah, I know who bought that one. Yeah. The live was nightmare last night. I figured it was Mike. No, it was, well, partly, yes. He said it was raining and he froze, so he had to start again. But part of it was the update that was going on. And then part of it, yeah, it was raining last night here, which is why I froze in the afternoon. And I froze earlier on my first live, the first part of my live here, because of the weather too. Dee Dee, I wore this intentionally, and I had wanted to, that's why I wanted to do it sideways, but they changed the settings in the live for the YouTube app. Right now you can't do a horizontal. But yes, this is the dress. If y'all saw my short showing my Hubs handbag pick of the day for the cruise, it's my dress, and I wore it because I wore this for formal night on the cruise, and everybody that watched my well, not everybody, but a lot of people who saw my short commented more on my dress than they did on the bag that I was showing. So I thought I'd wear it, so you can get a look at it. This has been to Cozumel twice. This has been to Hawaii. This has been to Nassau, Key West. This I think since I got this, it has been on every cruise. It's in my every cruise and every vacation. So it's been in. It just lives in here after it's washed. It just lives in here. I am feeling much better. Yes, my peeps are helping out. They are. I'm feeling much better. But I can tell you, I'm like, I am exhausted by the end of the day. I've been on granny duty all week. Since I was no longer contagious, I've been on granny duty. But they have been really good because they know that I've been sick. So they don't take naps, really. Not at all. They're past the age of wanting to take naps. But we do have quiet time. And they'll be quiet, and then usually that's when I fall asleep. It's usually kind of just self-regulated, self-imposed. It's like when they see me falling asleep, they'll lower the volume of the TV. They turn off all the lights while I'm, falling asleep, and I'm at least able to take a nap. So they're beautiful, beautiful grandchildren. Hi, my plum tree and family. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so let's go through what I bought. Do y'all want to know what I bought? I was planning on doing, and I said it in the first live, is my plans were initially to do a short mini live, and just say hello, kind of cruise talk like I was doing right now, kind of explaining some questions of what was, explaining some answers to questions I've been getting. And then I was planning on doing a vlog. I had taken footage and done stuff to do a vlog of what it was, and then to do a video of the things that I bought. But getting sick, it's just kind of like I'm so behind on everything that it started making me anxious. I wanted to get it out there more timely basis. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a live, go as long as I can go. to me, my concern was Jackie doesn't come on till 6 o'clock tonight or 7 o'clock. I forget what time. Usually go on somewhere between 4 and 6, depending. I figured I'd be off by then. So I'm going to show y'all. I didn't buy a lot this time. I did not buy a lot. One of the things that I did do is I had a mission of certain things I wanted to buy on ship. And this is what I used this time as my jewelry case. I turned this into a jewelry case. It was part of what I got from Cloverleaf Bags. 45 bucks for a 5 or 6 piece Vera Bradley thing. This was my travel bag. I put this on the back of my scooter. Loved all of it. I mean, it worked out great. So I normally use this for my jewelry. It has all these little fancy pockets here. It has these plastic things where you put all your jewelry in individually. I was so tired going into the cruise. I was like, yeah, I'm not being that organized today. not gonna do it. So I turned this into my jewelry case. Let's see. So what I did is I put going up there, I put my rings here that I wanted to take with me on vacation. I put the earrings in here that I wanted to take on vacation. Some bracelets, and I use that. There was easy access, and back here I put some bracelets back here, and then in the inside section I put stuff too in here. Coming home, I ended up just using this because I knew coming home that's usually a little rougher when coming home. Oh, and what we had decided is, first time ever, we did not check baggage, our luggage to get off the ship. We had one suitcase each, and I had this was my carry-on. I put this inside of this, so I only had one. So we didn't check anything in. So I had 2 pieces, and this lived on the back of my scooter getting off ship. So we did not check our luggage for the first time ever. And this is cruise number 17 for me, I think, maybe. I don't know. I hope I'm not lying, but I think that's what it is. The mission that I went on is, I don't know if y'all remember, I had bought this from one of my Facebook groups. It's the LV lock. It has a key, but I have the key put away. I did not take it with me. But I wanted to get a necklace. I was turning this into a necklace. I wore it as a necklace. The chain that I was using was a very thin, real gold chain that my husband had given me for another a heart pendant that I used on it. I think that one was a 18 karat gold, I think, but it was very, very thin, and this is heavy. The lock is heavy. It's the lock that goes on the Speedies or whatever, you know. It's a real LV lock. So I wanted a chain to go with that. So what I did is, on the cruise ship, they have an inch of gold. You get an inch of gold for free if you buy so many inches. So it's brass. But let me tell you, if you want to wear your jewelry and get it wet, if you want to wear your jewelry, take a shower, if you want to wear your jewelry, you know, and just be rough with it and it look beautiful and sparkly, this is it. They also have a guarantee. They have a guarantee to where if anything happens to it, you can exchange it. You can either mail it in. They'll give you a card that has where you can mail it into to get it replaced or repaired. And it's replaced. They're not going to repair it. They'll give you a new one. But since we cruise so often, you know, there's only been I had a class if it's broken, but my my hometown BFF, she has gotten lots of her jewelry replaced because she'll wear them in the ocean. She never takes them off. She's like Jackie, sleeps with them, showers with them, goes into the salt water with them, goes into the chlorinated pool with them. You know, she does all of that. So once they start to tarnish or turn, she just takes it back. And when you're there, they know their jewelry, and they'll just say, okay, do you want you know, they'll give you the thing is, they'll give you the same. Now they have been out of what she's wanted, so she's been able to exchange it for a different item. You know, it's a gold for a gold, but a different strand. And they charge you by the inch. Some are $1 an inch, some are $2. So it just depends on the style that you pick. So they have the silver, and they have this, the gold, which the gold is brass. So so that's what I was looking for. So my hopes are that I did measure that at the length of what I thought I would like it as, and I got this. So they didn't have in the gold the one I really wanted. So he said if I took this one, that he would give me a bracelet that would fit me for free, because it's usually just an inch. Well, I need more than an inch. So I got a matching bracelet. Let me see if I can find it. And that was for free. So this ended up costing me somewhere around the $60 range for the necklace. But like I said, if it tarnishes, if it turns or anything, I'm going on a cruise in November. If anything happens to it, I can just get another one. I can just exchange it. They'll fix it for me. So I'm like okay with that. So what I did is I put everything in tissues, and then I put them in here for the trip home, because since we didn't check our luggage, normally my jewelry on the trip home goes in my backpack coming home, or my carry-on coming home. But so I definitely wanted to make sure that my jewelry was safe, and as far as not getting tangled with each other. So here is the problem is that he made it to fit exactly this part of my wrist, because I had other jewelry on. Like I wear my stuff like down here. I like it, and I like it to move, especially like when I'm sweating, but I like it to move, so I'll put extenders on it. But he says, no, you need this one to go right here, because that looks so beautiful on your wrist. And I was like, but I don't like it that way. He goes, no, you need it there. So it was one of those things that it was a gift, because it was more than what I was supposed to get, the inches, but it was a gift. And he said, this is how I want you to wear it. So for a formal night, so I wore it that way. But see, it's hard for me to put it on. See, I don't know if I'm able to put it on. Hey, who's over there, hun? Is that you? Oh, he might be in a meeting, going to a meeting. He's working from home today. Yeah, I can't put it on. I can't put it on by myself. I have to have help, because it's too small, so it doesn't dangle enough for me to get it, because of my wrist. But this is how it would look, like that, if I had it. So it fits, tight on your wrist, because he says that's like a style, and he likes it, and I'm like, okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get do I have it on here? Yeah, I have it on here. They're magnets, and you clip them on here. They're magnet extensions, and that way they can magnet, and I will put that on here, so then it'll be easier for me. So it'll solve the problem of being so tight on my wrist. And it's not tight in the sense of like cutting off circulations. It's just an exact fit, and I don't, when I get sweaty or whatever, I don't like how that feels. I'm like, got to jump off. Sorry about that. No problem, Maria Luis. No problem. Ivy says, will you make a video showing how you pack your Vera Bradley turn lock wallet as a jewelry case? Okay, I can do that. It probably won't be right away, but I definitely will put that on my list. Oh, meant to type not turn lock. Oh, I get it. Can you use the bracelet as an extender for the necklace? Oh, maybe, but I'm gonna put an extender on the bracelet, Ivy. Like I said, I get them on Amazon where they have these little magnets, and they're real strong magnets. So I'm gonna do that. It'll be fine. There's a tool called the Bracelet Buddy that helps put on. Oh, really? I'm gonna screenshot that. You have me on social and my email. If you have access to that, if that's an Amazon thing, if you don't mind sending me your link, I would greatly appreciate it. So the only other, there was three other jewelry items that I got. The other thing that I was on a mission to look for was a couple of rings to match, because I like to color coordinate. So I did not have a blue ring. So I got a blue ring for the days that I wear the blue. These were half off, and so they were like $55, I think. They are, it says 14 karat gold, but it's 14 karat gold plated, so it's over, and I don't know if it's over. Yeah, I think this one's, I don't know if it's over sterling silver or what it's over. Let me look. I can't see what it says. I don't think it's 925 though. Yeah, but it's just, it's plated over probably the cheapest material they have. So I bought this for the blues, and I bought a size 8 is what I got, as a size 8. And then I got a red one, more like a ruby red-ish. I have earrings that match this already that I also got on a cruise several cruises back that I use it, but I didn't have a ring to match that. This one though, however, is silver. Is in the silver family. It's a size 8. I don't know what material is. It's costume jewelry. It's a little bit higher end costume jewelry, so it's a little bit better, but with that, but it's not gold, it's not silver, it's just costume jewelry type, but which is what I normally would always wear anyway, before my husband started buying me actual not fashion jewelry, because fashion jewelry is like costume jewelry, another word for costume jewelry. Actual jewelry, what is it called? Actual jewelry, fine jewelry. Hi, Sager the Cool. That's a kind of cool name. Fine jewelry, yes, fine jewelry. So yeah, see, when we first got married, he gave me a necklace, which I do have that, but it broke. I literally repel jewelry. It falls off of me. The clasp will break. The earrings will fall out. Doesn't matter how tight you put them. Doesn't matter what kind, they fall out. So I repel jewelry. So he had bought me that necklace, and that necklace would constantly come undone, and it constantly would fall off. The clasp would just constantly open, and it would bring me, it would be a nightmare. Then he bought me some emerald earrings, not big fancy, not huge ones. They were small, you need a magnifying glass to look at them, but they were real emerald earrings. We're a big Wizard of Oz family because of my mom. She's a big movie buff, big movie buff she was. So we would watch Wizards of Oz all the time. We liked that. We loved the Emerald City. So I liked green they use the term, everybody would use the term that it was my favorite color, and it was not. It's the feng shui color. I was really into feng shui back then, like really into feng shui, and I feng shuied everything. And so green was the color of money. So you have green, it brings the money into you, attracts the money into you. So definitely between the Wizard of Oz and the Emerald City and the feng shui aspects of it or whatever, my favorite color, as my nephews and nieces would say, he bought me emerald earrings. I remember it as just as bright as day. I was carrying my daughter. He had our son, and she wasn't pulling out my ear. She wasn't doing anything. She was like over here, because would hip carry her out of nowhere. I mean, we were just there, and we were waiting. We were at the did I say the cruise? We were at the circus, the Barnum and Bailey circus. And so we were waiting to get out, and we were just there. Out of nowhere, I felt my earring fly off, like literally. And I was looking, and he said, did she pull it off? I said, no, she didn't. Her hands were by her side. I said, no, she didn't do it. So there we are, trying to touch all the stickiness on the floor. I mean, it's dark down there, trying to find it. We never could find it. People were trying to help me find it, never could find it. And after that, I told him, no, do not buy me jewelry. Do not buy me flowers. I had already told him, do not buy me flowers. Our anniversary is on February the 14th. I said, you're not paying $100 for flowers that are going to be $9.99 the next day. Don't do it. And he's like, do you know how hard it is to tell your friends that you're not buying them stuff? And they ask them, what are you buying? Your coworkers, they, well, what are you buying? She wants a vacuum cleaner. And they were like, a vacuum cleaner? My wife would divorce me. He says, no, my wife wants a vacuum cleaner. And the first time, because he bought me a vacuum cleaner twice for our anniversary in February. The first time it was a regular vacuum cleaner, a fancier push vacuum cleaner. The second time was a Roomba. Hey, the Roombas are expensive. So he bought me a Roomba. Love that Roomba. Use that Roomba. You would take the vacuum too, Jackie? Yeah. So that was what I bought as far as the costume jewelry section. And those I had a plan to buy. Those were I was looking for. The only thing was I wanted a gold and a silver in the blue. And I wanted a gold and a silver in the red. So I got the gold in the blue and the silver in the red, because sometimes I'll wear silver jewelry, sometimes I wear gold jewelry, and so I just wanted to be able to have the option of both. So I didn't get it, but in November, then I'll try to find the other end of it. So I think other than that, I have all the other colors as far as rings are concerned. Now I need to look at my earrings and see if there's any colors of the earrings that I want. I have a pink ring like this. I don't have any pink earrings, so I might look for some pink earrings for that. So that was okay. So that was that. So then I did visit. I got there's Effy jewelry shops and that's the fine jewelry on the cruise ships, and it's just so happened that one of those store associates at the Effy jewelry happened to be on our Hawaii cruise, and he was looking at me from afar, and I was looking at him from afar, and I was talking to his coworker, and I had gone in there. I had a piece of Effy jewelry that I needed them to fix. Was my bracelet, which was the other thing. I'll look for that while I'm telling you the story. So I had taken my bracelet in on day one for them to fix it, to see if they could fix it, and it was on that particular cruise, the fixing would be done in Nassau, which was our last port day. And so I was talking to the gentleman who was helping me with that, and he was helping a different customer, and he kept looking back at me, and I thought he was the manager who was on the Hawaii ship from the side of his face, but he wasn't. He wasn't. But he just looked very similar from the side of his face. And then when he turned, he looked at me, and I just smiled, and everything. And then the next day when I went in, the next day, because they give you barrels, these little barrel neck things that you can make a necklace with. Give you a little promotion freebies to get you to come into the shop so they could sell you the real stuff. And they were Oh, I'm getting nervous. Where is my bracelet? Oh, here it is. And so I actually have two things to show you as far as jewelry is concerned. So later the gentleman who was helping me, he's originally he says, "Hey, my coworker says he thinks he knows you." And I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah." He says he was on that cruise in Hawaii. He was on that cruise, and that was the last. No, we were the second to the last for the season. And that ship, the Miracle, will be here in Galveston in November, which is the one we'll be cruising on. Very excited for that. He said that he thinks he remembers you. He thinks, and then I saw, but he was on lunch break at that time. So I took out my pictures from Hawaii, and I was showing him all the Effy, because I take pictures of the Effys, and when I buy a lot of jewelry, or I just have a bond with them. Sometimes I don't buy anything, and they just love hanging out. I love hanging out, and so I was taking the pictures. He says, "That's him," and I was like, "That's him," because in Hawaii he had a full beard and mustache, and so on this one he was clean shaven, so he looked like a baby. He looked like a teeny tiny baby. I mean, he looked about 10 years younger, so I did not really, his eyes had kind of looked familiar, and from the side, like I said, he looked like the original, for the original manager. And he says, "That's him, that's him." I said, "Oh my goodness." And so then that evening I went in after dinner and saw him, and he was like, "Yeah." And so I was showing him the pictures from Hawaii and everything like that, And he goes, "Are you buying anything this time?" And I said, "No." So on the last day, Effy used to always have these, prior to the pandemic, and even just after they opened back up after the pandemic, the cruising opened back up, they would have these great blockbuster pieces of jewelry, where it was those things that would just bring you in. They would have those sales. It was the gateway jewelry. The gateway drugs. CC's Texas Garden. Hey y'all, hola, hello Missy, how you doing? Welcome in, Missy Beauty and Luxury. Welcome in, CC's Texas Garden. So it was those gateway drugs, which is how I started my Tanzanite journey. My husband did. He saw, because I looked at they have what they call the fun shops, and then they have the luxury shops, which are the jewelry shops. And in the jewelry shops, you have the luxury watches, and you also have now where they have the luxury handbags from, I think now, is it second? Oh, I have the paper. I forgot what it is. Another Chance or Second Chance, or maybe that's Kristen's on my mind. But it's a one of those, like the real, but one of those. It's a big company that now service the cruise ships. So that's on one side. The other sides are the fun shops, which is all the shopping of just the regular non-luxury items, non-luxury handbags. That's where you'll find your that are not the luxury handbags. And you can pick up all your souvenir kind of items on the other side of the ship. So that's why I would just venture over there. Then they pull out these tables. They would pull out these tables, and they would do the watches, which is, what is that watch? These yellows watch, the Invictus watches. At the time is my husband developed to where he would give me a piece of jewelry, a fine jewelry, and it was in the Tanzanite family, because I love the Tanzanite and the story and the thing with the Tanzanite. And that's what we would do, is he would buy me a piece of that from the gateway drugs, the gateway jewelry, because they would be Kevin loves Invictus. Yeah, so I started buying him a watch on every cruise. We bought our son a watch and on a cruise, when we do a family cruise. But now, ever since we bought him the Apple Watch, he doesn't use them anymore. And they're the ones that you have to go, you have to move your hands or they die. So they're all dead right now. But he's like, and then, you know, then we went to work from home and all that stuff. So he just prefers to use the Apple Watch. But we did tell him that they needed to start selling, you know, designer watch bands, because we would do that. Hi, Jorgelina, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for coming. So we're now at the point with their jewelry, because my husband used to go and pick out a piece or of those, because they were anywhere between, they were $2.99, $3.99 to $50, you know, in that price point range. And they were normally in the sterling silver 925, and they usually, it was just the tanzanite gem, you know, no diamonds or anything around it, which is fine, because I don't like all the extra diamonds. I don't, you know, yeah, I'm like, I would rather you give me a gem than a diamond. I know I'm weird, you know. It's kind of like, you know, yeah, diamonds are beautiful, but they're like, you know, they're overdone, they're overrated. I like color. Okay, now they have the chocolate diamonds, and they've had those on there. That is beautiful. They had like these colored diamonds. I'm like, ooh, I like that. So yeah, Dee Dee likes diamonds. Not only does she like, you know, expensive diamonds, I like the expensive exotic that you can't ever, you know, buy. I like the Chanel diamonds, you know. Those chocolate diamonds are the Chanel diamonds. The Chanel, from the Chanel world, they're the Chanel, you know, part of the diamonds, the yellow diamonds, you know. It's like, yeah. So it is what it is. Did I say hi, Jorgelina? I don't even remember. I'm so sorry, my brain. So on the last day, the second to the last day of the cruise, I was talking with my Effy friends, and I got my, I was gonna look for the bracelet that they were fixing. I don't see it here. It had broke, because I used it a lot, and nope, that's not it. Ta-da! I found it. Here it is. So these are clusters of diamonds, you know. They're diamond dust, you know. So I have a matching set of this, and a pair of earrings that are this right here, the little it's a little floret. And they both were gifts from Effy, gifts with purchases, if you will, whatever. Once you spend a certain price point, then they gift you those. The earrings had come from a cruise a couple years back, and because I was when they had come when my husband, it was a family cruise, and my husband bought, it was those $299 tanzanite bracelets. Bought one for him, bought one for my daughter-in-law, bought one for my daughter, and then he also bought a tennis bracelet in the diamonds, tennis bracelets in the price point as well too. I think that one was $3.99, because that was one of the super sales. They only had like 5 of them. You had to be there and to be able to get them, because they're trying to get you in the store, because in the next hour they're selling everything half price, you know. Half price of $10,000 is still $5,000. Give me the $299 one. That's what I'm here for. So he was able to snag those. So I got the earrings because he was in that price point. Then this came from the Hawaii cruise, because I bought a lot of jewelry. It was like, yeah, I bought a lot of jewelry. We were planning to buy jewelry. He was planning to buy jewelry because it was celebrating our 30th anniversary. And we were trying, we were trying to do the traditional thing of get the pearls for your 30th anniversary, you know, the traditional. So we had been looking, you had been looking on several cruises up to that. So that was year 31, but it was our 30th anniversary cruise. But we actually were celebrating our 31st anniversary on that cruise. So this was a free gift. And I love this. So I bought one of these with a tanzanite bracelet, and it's the ones that it has a little ball and chain, and you just do that and it slips it on. So that is so easy for somebody who has mobility issues, that has dexterity issues, you know, that kind of thing. So these are my favorite bracelets to wear. So you can make it like, you know, you want it really tight there. It can be a loose one, make it loose, and it can, you know, be hanging down. So it's very easy. It's not like the one I tried to put on earlier that I can't do because you know, it doesn't have this capability. So what happened is the ball on here, the little thingy on the inside broke, and I wasn't sure if they were going to fix it because Effy's jewelry is lifetime guarantee. So if you do it on, if you buy it on a cruise ship, you can take it back to any cruise ship. You know, and I'm talking specific Carnival, because Carnival is where we cruise off of, and where I have bought all of my jewelry from the cruise jewelry. You take it back to them and they'll fix it. Like my pearl earrings you see me wear all the time, those had gotten bent, and the pearl ring had gotten bent because I use them all the time. You know, I bang stuff, I, you know, cut my hands. I slept with those earrings. That's how they got bent, because I slept with the earrings several times, you know, and the pearl earrings. So they, I took them back and took them back the first day of the cruise. And so they were ready. They had them in line and got them back. And they were repaired them, no problems. If you don't buy them from a cruise ship, if you buy them in, you know, the stores, then you mail them to the New York office, and then they'll mail them back to you. Mailing them back to you doesn't cost you anything. I think you have to pay your own shipping to get it there. Not 100% sure, because I've never done that. I have had jewelry sent back to us because on the Hawaii cruise, we bought some jewelry and my ring needed to be sized, and the jeweler just ran out of time because they hit a record. There was a lot of us spending, and it was a 14, you know, they had a lot of deals, 14-day cruise, and they sold a lot of jewelry, and a lot of jewelry that needed to be sized and stuff. And yeah, he had people yelling at him and stuff because they weren't able to process it there. And I told him, I said, if you guarantee you can mail it to me, and you give me, on social media, his name was Roz, and I had him on social media. By that time, you know, we were there 14 days, so we were on social media, you know, I was on his Instagram, he was on my Instagram. So long as you message me that it's coming to expect it, then mail it to me, and then you can put that guy's in, take mine out and put his in. And he was like, are you sure? Are you sure? I said, yeah, no sweat off my back. Thank you, Missy. Thank you so much. She says, you look so pretty in that dress. This is my cruise dress that I used in my short that everybody loved for the husband's handbag pic of the cruise. And everybody loved it, so I thought I'd wear it so that y'all could see it. So so they fixed this. So this was not a purchase, but they did fix this. The other thing I bought is this. Okay, they always Carnival, they always have these charm bracelets, and you get a bracelet, so the bracelet itself is for free. And yeah, you can get the bracelet for free and not buy anything else, because I have done that before. I go, can I just have the bracelet? I need an extra bracelet because I wanted a plain bracelet to give to my granddaughter with no charms on it, just so she could have a bracelet. And he's like, yeah, it was you know, no cost. Some of them will say they can't do it because they don't know how to put it in the computer, but it can be done. But you buy, the bracelet is free, and you know what, maybe, and they could have changed the policy. So if you buy 5 charms, 10 charms, they give you a pack of charms, and then they that's at the initial. So usually the first day is you buy your bracelet and you buy the pack of 5 charms for like $10 or something like that. Then that's your starter kit, if you will, from these. These are my favorite bracelet. They also have the Pandora-like bracelets. I don't like those because they don't fit my wrist, and they're harder for me to put on. These are really easy, and you can stretch them. You can stretch them, you know, make them smaller, so I can make them smaller if you have a smaller wrist. Then every day of the cruise, or they space it out, you go and buy to the shops and buy 1 charm for $5, and then on the last day of the cruise, they usually coincided with your port days. Then you go in there and you buy you get a free charm. So this year the free charm, and I don't have it. I buy tons of these. I bought these as gifts. I bought these as, as everything, just, I bought them to commemorate a cruise. And at one time they used to sell charms. Carnival used to sell charms. So I used to buy a charm from their charms and put it on there. I bought Pandora because they also sell Pandora on there. I bought a Pandora charms for some of those. So I've got like 17 to 20 of these to commemorate my cruises, and it's part of how I kind of keep track of them. But this time I was like, well, I ain't gonna buy it because I have them all. So I have all of these, and the dolphin is what they gave you for free. However, this time the new charm, and the reason I bought one is because they had this charm that was a new charm, which is a heart, American flag in the shape of a heart. And that is new. That was totally new. So I decided I wanted to get it. So I got it. And I only did one. I actually wanted to buy 2 of the hearts in case I lost this one. But I said, I was too tired to go back that day. And I was like, eh. So that's the costume jewelry part. So going back to the story with the guy in the Effy store. I went to go pick up this. It got fixed. I fixed it up. Got it. Like I said, I wasn't sure, since it was a free gift, if they were going to honor that they would fix it or not. But yeah, they did. No questions asked, no problems. They knew it was their jewelry. They knew that it was a promotional item, And then they also knew if I had that and the earrings, they also knew we had spent quite a bit of money without even looking at my account, just by having that piece of jewelry. So we're sitting there and I'm talking to him. I visited him every day of the cruise, visit the 2 of them every day of the cruise. They have their area manager guy. I've talked about that. They have an area manager who flies ship to ship or whatever. And my Vicky, which is he's him, and then Raz are the 2 that I really got close to. And I said, where's my cousin Vicky? Is he still working? I haven't seen him or know where he's at. I lost track of him in a couple of cruises, and they actually didn't know who he was. So that means that he has moved up far enough to where the underlings don't know who he is. He's in a different department now. So there's always a new crop of people coming in, but they did know Raz, and then that's how they knew that this guy was on the trip. So I'm throwing around these names. I'm name dropping intentionally because I'm trying to get the good deals. I'm trying to get the good deals, trying to show that I'm a shopper. I'm a very frugal, cheap shopper. I want the cheap stuff. And then I told him, I said, you know me. I said, what I bought, you know me, and the price range I bought. I said, I honestly, unless it's $250 and below, I ain't buying anything. $150 would be better. But, if you just want to sell something because you have your quota's low, find me something in that price range. So what did he do? He found me this. I think that I have one that's almost exactly alike, because that's what my husband said. Didn't you already have one of those? I think the one I have, and I haven't had a chance to look for it because I've been sick. I got sick. I think the Tanzanites are a little bit smaller and closer together than the ones I have. The ones I have, the Tanzanites squares are a little bit bigger and a little bit further apart, as I believe, from what I can remember. And but it was $199. You can't let that go. And my hand's swollen right now because it's raining. But when I bought it, because when I'm on the cruise, I have no inflammation, or I feel no inflammation. My hands are very everything is like nothing. Like right now, I'm blown up like a balloon right now. But Hi Latina, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a little while. Welcome in. How are you doing? So I bought this. Let's see. Missy says, Jackie, I will get you one the next cruise we go on. The charms are so cute. What did Jackie say? I love bracelets. Hi, the hopeful minimalist. Welcome in. Hi, Dee Dee. I'm sure I'm late, but the purse tree, all bags lovers need that. Yes, I love that. It is my favorite thing. I talked about it a little bit at the end of my last live about why I have the purse tree, how it all kind of evolves. So you may want to just go check out the ending of that video of that live. Sorry, the live. I think it was the very last live I was on. It was either the last live or it was a live with the last live was with Jorge Lina. So, but we did have a little bit of technical issue. So it might have been the one with Veronica Sid at the very end of that one. Just look at the end and it'll explain it. It'll explain the tree, how the evolution of that. Thank you, thank you. Ah, it's stuck. It's stuck in my hands. But it was $199. So my thing is, I've told my children, don't expect life insurance from us. Don't expect a wad of money to be given at the time that we die. What we have will be enough to pay the bills that we have incurred. Hopefully by then we are bill free. I mean, that we are debt free by then. I mean, I've been working really hard that what we buy, as it goes. So the only like huge debt we have is the rest of our house, but even then is very minimal now. And right now we don't have a car payment, and we're gonna get into a car, but we're gonna do that in a way to where we won't have a car payment, and we will have that paid off quicker, than having a long-term car. I got it on, yay! So this is how it looks. So this is Tanzanite. Tanzanite is, you can only find it in Africa, in Tanzania. Is that what it's called, where it's called, Tanzania? Now you can actually buy Tanzanite on Amazon. You used to not be able to, but when the pandemic came around, the jewelry industry, just like anybody else, got desperate. So the exclusivity of only being able to find this stuff on cruise ships or in New York in the fashion houses, or like, of course, they were all in the Bahamas, like in Nassau. Nassau has a big hub. They have a Tanzanite store. Diamonds International, they have Tanzanite International. But it is only found in one place of the world, is what the story goes. Okay, I've read it, researched it a lot, or what have you. It pulls, the gem pulls very many different shades. So you can have a Tanzanite and it can be bright blue, like that ring I had earlier. It can pull a little more on the purple family. It could even pull green because it's a gem from the earth. So it depends on the oxygen. It depends on where it's at, where they mine it at, from the mine itself, what have you. It's supposed to be mined sustainably, but it is a gem that it's rare, and it's very, very minimal of it, that once it's gone, it's gone. So it's supposed to be what they call it, a generational gem, that you're in your generation, in my generation, that it should be, or my children's generation, it should be gone and there won't be any more, kind of thing. So I drank the Kool-Aid on that one big time. I liked it because the price point, that has, of course, like anything else, the grade and all that kind of stuff has very, very vast amount of price points. And the price points that they had, like I said, at the time, they would do all of these $199, $250, or whatever. After the pandemic, like after we came back, it was 2020, they came back 2021, 2022. So in 2023, at the beginning of 2023, they quit. Vicky, my friend Vicky from Effy Jewelry told me, we are no longer doing those. He said, we are selling our back stock, but we are no longer doing that. He says, so you can ask them. There are two, I think they're called last chance items or whatever. You have to know if they're there. If you ask them, then they know that you're an Effy shopper. But he said, we're trying to phase those out. We're no longer going to be having those anymore because they're trying to just, they're trying to recoup their money that they've lost, and they're trying to elevate the Effy jewelry more and kind of deal more in the higher end diamond stuff that aren't being bought. I mean, not diamonds, tanzanites that are not being bought, not being bought because, people can't afford it, And I said, well, well, that's okay. I won't be shopping anymore. I go, after this Hawaii trip, that's it. Then I'm not paying more than, you got me spoiled. I am paying more than $250 for something. If it's a special piece, maybe $299, but I'm not gonna do it. And because they always start off, I'm like, oh dear. They always start off with these. Here's this beautiful jewelry. It's that deep blue tanzanite with all these diamonds on it, and then they freak out when I say I don't want any diamonds on it. I want the tanzanite with the 925. I don't want any of the other stuff. I don't want white gold tanzanite with white gold. I want 925 tanzanite is what I want. If you don't have it, that's okay. I'll be on a cruise in the next month, and I'll tell them when my next cruise is at. So so I had been in there all the whole time. They fixed my jewelry. It was the same thing. They had already looked at my history, because when they do my jewelry, when they did my bracelet to fix it, they have to go in the system. When they go into the system, they can see everything that I have purchased from the cruise ships, from every cruise ship. So my jewelry purchase is there. My history is there. And then I have pieces that are like my little pearl necklace and my little pearl bracelet I bought from Nordstrom Rack. They're Effy products. And they came straight from New York, shipped from New York, but they were Effy products. But so that he saw me wearing those, so he knows that I have also bought Effy jewelry aside from the cruise ships. Because that's the other thing too. I said, well, that's okay. I can find them on Nordstrom, or I can find them at I think Macy's now sells them too. Sells Effy jewelry. I said, that's okay. I said, no problem. Because I'm like, no skin off my back. If you don't want to sell me something in my price point, and you're trying to sell this one, that's fine. And what I always sell is, when I tell them too, I'm hardcore. I say, a small sale is better than no sale. $200 is better than $0. Your choice. He comes running after my little scooter saying, Miss Dee Dee, I have something for you. Come back. So I got this one. So I was compelled to get it, because I almost said, I already have that, but I thought, you know what? The one I have, will probably, because that one's bigger, will probably go to my daughter. Oh, I never did finish telling them that. So I told them, don't expect all this money, because we are cruising and vacationing your inheritance. My daughter says, yeah, that's obvious. I said, the only inheritance you're getting me is my shit that you don't want. My handbags, my jewelry, all of that stuff. I said, I'll tell you what the good stuff is. I'll write it down for you, what the good stuff is. And the rest of it, you can just get a truck and let them haul it out, And they laugh. So this one will be earmarked for my granddaughter, because it's thinner. And so she's smaller. And so she'll always be smaller than my daughter, I'm guessing, really, the age difference. So my daughter will have the bigger one, and then she'll have this one. And then if they're exactly the same, well, then they can twin. They can twin. Lurking, sorry. That's okay, Jackie. That's quite all right. I go in November, Jackie. So if you, I can't believe you didn't see because you don't cruise on Carnival. You did Disney. Yeah, okay. I will get you a charm bracelet. I actually might even have a charm bracelet. I could send you. Hi, John Hill. Welcome in. I'm doing the same for my kids. LOL. Yeah, John. Welcome in. Did you see? Were you at Kristen's D's sale? Jackie said she had a live. Or I didn't know, but did you buy anything? Lonnie, welcome in. Jab that Prada button for Coach Dee Dee. Aw, thank you, Lonnie. You're so sweet. So we're just sitting here chit-chatting about my cruise. So I went through all the jewelry that I got, the costume jewelry, fashion jewelry, fine jewelry. So I only purchased the one fine jewelry item on there, and the rest is just the costume jewelry kind of thing. So what I bought in the port, I met a cutest little girl. She's actually became a subscriber of mine, and her grandma, she was helping her grandma sell. So, oh, those of you who have known the saga of the Vera Bradley versus the other high-end, like almost $1,000 luggage, rolling luggage that we got. I don't even know the name of it. Oh, it might be a Samsonite. Not I think it might be a Samsonite. That in the vlog, I think it was the vlog when we were going to where we were in Galveston, and my husband was trying to take him, and the other suitcase was flying. I said, I'm going to buy him a Vera Bradley bag, a black one, as soon as we get home. The problem is on the inside, they have flowers and they have pink wheels, but so I laughed when I gave it to him. Tell you what, he loved the Vera Bradley because he was like, he felt like Superman, no problem. So here's my suitcase. What I'm going to do is I told him I want to change the insides out. Oh, I haven't even unpacked. So I take this with me when we do family friends cruises. I always make a board, and I take it because you never know what all the doors will look alike. So if you don't have something on the cabin, it's hard to find your cabin, much less somebody else's cabin. So like this, I made these for one of our family cruise, which also our BFFs went on that one as well too. And I just hang it on the door. So I just carry it with this all the time. I keep it out here, and then I pack it in the suitcase, or I keep it in the suitcase and pack it in the suitcase. I'll keep it in here. With my lanyards, I use the lanyards to be in my zipper pull, and then I have this lanyard to use it for formal night, something fancy. But highly recommend Vera Bradley. They're releasing and doing some changes, so I don't know. Hopefully they'll still have the suitcases, but yeah. So you probably can't see this too well, I don't know. This right here. So I did buy, I cut back way back on my souvenir shopping. This is heavy. So this is what I bought from a vendor in Nassau. I always like to go to the parts where they're actually making them. I always look for the vendors who are sitting there and actually making them, because they will tell you that they're handmade, and then you'll find made in China, made in Taiwan. They're handmade, but not by the people. And that's what I want to support, is the local people. So I searched out the local artisans and will purchase from them. I try to always take a picture. So I will try to take a picture of the little girl and the grandma who made this, and put it in my community post. Okay. So it was in Nassau. Oh, I packed everything in here. So it's a cute little bag. And this is the color of the Bahamas, right? I'm geography challenged, just like I'm everything challenged. But this is their colors. They had some plain ones, and I asked her what the colors were of their country, and these are the colors. The black, yellow, and the teal are their colors. And it's open wide, but this velcros. It velcros on there. She was really upset because she had these really pretty placards that has her name on it, and her name and her business. Her business name is her name incorporated into a business. Like Missy does. Spicy D 254. Welcome in. How are you doing? I'm doing the same for my kids. I'm sorry I missed you earlier, Spicy D. I didn't see that. Okay, yeah, I'm on there on all messages. So this is what I bought. As far as a bag is concerned, I'll show the picture of the like I said in the community post. So my husband, Carnival sells on their t-shirts from the area you're at, 2 for $30. So he he usually goes for those. I wrapped up. So let me show you. So this one I think is, I don't know if this one's his or mine. I don't know. They're both gonna end up being his because I don't like the round collar. So this is there. It says Nassau since 1973, and down here it says oh, I can't even read it. Something beach and apparel. You know. So I don't. And you know what? This was bought. This actually was purchased in the port itself. It wasn't from the ship. He has those, I think. And then this right here is so ow. So I can't remember. I think this was his and that was supposed to be mine, but because they also sold them too for something. But they're both, like I said, both gonna be his. And there's this one. He liked this one. I forgot what it looked like. Oh, he liked this one because it had the map of the islands on there. And so it was 3X. So they're 20. They sell them $20 each, or 2 for $15. Yeah. No, 2 for $30. 2 for $30 as well. That's what it was. Yeah, because it would be 40. Yeah. So we saved $10. Yeah. So those are those. Basically, they're going to be both for him. Let me show you the bag. And here's the inside of the bag. It has a little pocket right here. It's not a zipper pocket. Hand stitched. This is the lining, all hand stitched, and this is hand woven. Then she sews. She had looks like she had a little baby. Have you seen those little baby sewing machines that they usually you'll see them in the novelty sections and stuff? It looked like she had that, but you can see it's a consistent stitch, but it's like the stitch length is consistent, because it's from the machine, but because it's not a perfect system, the seam is higher. This one's higher, that one's lower, but that's what I like. And then it has the there. I like to help the people, the artisans from the towns. And so I always try to get one piece that has to do that's hand, like truly handcrafted. And here's the bottom. It's just amazing how they do this. So I was going to try and buy the piece that she was working on, a small little bag, and if I was able to come back around and she was finished with it, my plans were to buy that. She was working on just a little tiny bag, but we got distracted and it got to be late, and I got tired, so we never made it to that part, because they divided the port up into shops and stuff on one side and foods and drinks on the other side, and so it was a ways to get to where she was at, and so by that time I was past exhaustion. So we have some stuff here that I don't even remember what it is. So let's see what we bought. It's new. It's new. I feel like Jackie when she's going, I don't know what's in this box, but let's see. Oh, okay. We bought spices. That's right. In the food section. This is honey chipotle barbecue sauce. Yeah. This is handmade. I took a picture of the gentleman as well. This is a company that he makes it from. It was him and his manager that was working in there. He made his manager stand in there. And I asked them if I could take a picture, and I tell them why, because I like to, well, when I was displaying all my stuff, I display my items like that, and then I display a picture of who made it next to the item so that I can see. It's for me to remember memories. I'm helping the people in their countries, and also too it'll help when I'm not here anymore and the children are there. It's something to help ties so that they know, oh, this was from this specific cruise that they were on. So if it was a cruise that they cruised with us, maybe the item will be a sentimental item because it'll remind them of the cruise and they'll keep it. My children are not sentimental. They'll just throw it all away. But at least they'll have a story and a picture, a provenance, if you will, to if they sell it or pass it on or whatever. So let's see what this spice is. This is the crazy coconut barbecue sauce. The crazy coconut barbecue sauce. And we tasted all of these flavors because we bought fried conch. Oh my goodness, it was so good. And then at the restaurant and across the street he was selling these and he had samples. So we took our conch, took a little bit of the samples and tried it out with our conch. And it was delicious, delicious. So also to the vendors, the food vendors and the drink vendors in the ports, like the ports of Nassau, all the other ports, have to pay like for a health inspection. So you'll know, a health inspection kind of thing or whatever. Because my hometown BFF, she won't do food from, well, she doesn't like, you know, she's a hot dogs and a hamburger kind of gal. She doesn't do different you know, exotic foods or, you know, foods from different countries. She just won't do that. But they do have health inspectors and all that kind of stuff in the ports checking all that out is what they tell you. So you'll know, you'll feel safer about it. So these all have to pass those inspections to be sold in that area. And this right here is a pineapple pepper jelly. This was delicious. They had samples of this. They had also like a raspberry one was really good, but we decided to do pineapple because pineapple is, you know, is the sign of hospitality, and the Caribbeans really believe in the hospitality and the pineapple, and so it's one of their things that they do, and so it's why we picked that one versus the other ones. And that's it. That's all we bought. We did downsize because we had some family issues that we had to take care of. Plus we're, you know, we've had car issues. I still have $400 left to pay on our car balance that we have from because both of our vehicles broke down at the same time, and one broke down for like a year. That problem after problem after problem they were trying to fix. So I still have that's $400. I had the death of our Jinjin and medical bills prior to that we had to incur. So going into this trip, we knew that this trip was not going to be try to be a responsible trip. It would be just a relaxation trip, just to get a few of the things that I was missing. And so it really was not, is it a minimal spend, like 6 shirts for $60, I guess, basically. Not 6 shirts, 4 shirts for like $60. These were minimal. I honestly don't remember the prices. This was definitely under the $30 range. Might have been 25 or less, because I usually try to stay in that price range when I'm shopping. So this was the most expensive item on there, because then in October is a big shopping spend trip for me, because I'm going to visit Caleb Snell and his husband Zane for our Discord meetup and his membership Discord meetup. So I'm going to visit him in October, the end of October, and then in November we'll be home for 4 days, and then we'll be back out on our cruise for 12 days to Aruba, Jamaica, na 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 na. So we will be gone for 12 days and 5 ports, something like that. Hi Keith, welcome in. OMG, I came into the chat and I was, what the alternative, what? I was like, what the alternate universe? I thought Dee Dee was pretending it's Christmas Day and opening her gifts. Hey, it's always Christmas Day at the Beanbeauti household. Always, always, always. I have a little snippet, Keith, as to why I keep a Christmas tree year round. I have a little explanation. I believe it's Wednesdays live at the end of my live with Veronica Sid. I don't think it was the one with Jorgelina at the end because I was we had technical issues. But I'll just explain a little bit to those of y'all who haven't been here for the long haul, and it's a tribute to my mom and tribute to my grandchildren and kind of a thing. So it's made an evolution. It's a handbag tree now is what it's referred to. It's got some charms on it, handbags. It's got wristlets, things like that. But it has evolved through my YouTube journey. So so you'll probably see it in the lives for probably the next like couple of months. Well, not couple of months, couple of weeks. Everybody's finger crossed. Pray on Tuesday. AT&T is going to be coming. It's like a long 4-hour, 5-hour workup that they're doing. We are upgrading my Wi-Fi. We are upgrading the modem. We are upgrading the extenders, even though they're new, but they're all being upgraded to the new bandwidth. Hopefully that'll work. It's a huge expense, huge expense. I'm going from where we're at right now to how much it's going to cost. But I'm okay with it. I mean, you know, a monthly expense. So I'm going to be going from paying roughly $90 to $100 a month for our Wi-Fi to paying almost $300 and something a month. I can't have it glitching if I want to do live. So I'll be penny pinching. There's lots of things that are causing me to penny pinch now. So if you have a Louis Vuitton that's brand new and it's $30, I'm your girl. I'm your girl. All right, Bean Beauties. I don't know. I've been on here for several hours. I don't know now. It's 4:30 Central Standard Time here. I know it's way past my husband's work hour, so I'm sure he is hungry. My brother has come several times and picked out of his room because he's got laundry that's been dinging in the back. I don't know if you heard it, to be put in the dryer. And I'm like, you ain't coming through because I'm doing my lives right here. I am taking a stand today. I need to get this done. So just wanted to share a little bit about what the experience was. To answer the question, would I port again out of New Orleans? It would have to be a very special reason, meaning going out with, you know, who I would be meeting up with. It definitely will not be in the summertime. I'm no longer doing cruises again. I remembered why. We don't do cruises in the summer. Too many people on a ship. What you have to remember is that, you know, a tiny cruise cabin will hold 4 people, and if you have mom, dad, brother, sister, you know, and there's lots of those, you know, lots of families on there, you know, and you can't begrudge that. But those are the only times that I have contracted COVID, the candy cane on cruise ship. Will I cruise again because I got COVID? Absolutely. I have one coming up in November. I will be cruising again. I have stuff booked in 2025. You know, that thing, unfortunately, it's like the flu. It's everywhere. I personally, because of my health issues, my autoimmune disease, because of my autoimmune disease and the medications that I take to cure that, it also hurts that. I take medications that are for cancer patients. I do not have cancer, but they're cancer medications that suppresses your immunization, immune system. There you go. Which makes me very susceptible to that, you know. So this is why on a daily basis you will find me in my home versus out and about, which is why I shop online. Like I 100% shop online. I do groceries are delivered online. I do of course, my regular luxury shopping. Amazon delivers everything. We do Sam's delivery, bulk delivery, everything that you would go out and shop in a store. I have found a way to get it delivered to us. Or water. We get water delivered. We have a water delivery every month, and saves us some money. It's a water membership, and they deliver it. So so now that's the blessing that has come out of the shutdown, is that where we live, it's outside of the loop, and they would not, they as in everybody would not, even though we are like 5 minutes from the highway, they would not deliver to our area because we're outside the delivery zone area. Now they deliver, everything will deliver here. They'll deliver for free, they deliver for a price, they deliver for, for an arm and a leg, but I will pay it because that's part of my life. So I choose on a daily basis to mitigate the situations by not going to the big grocery stores, by not going to the big malls on a regular basis, by not going into the stores on a regular basis, and doing it all online and shopping online for everything. Also too, why we don't do things like huge concerts, and we don't even do things like weddings and debuts and things like that. We have cut all of that out because we choose now to where my finite energy is directed to things that are like super important, which is family, and so when the grandchildren have activities that take all day, so I will conserve my energy all weekend. When they start their activities on the weekend, all week, I'll conserve my energy all week. On the weekends is spent on them, and then I recuperate Monday and Tuesday, so I can do it all over again. So it's just like the flu. My husband didn't catch it on the cruise. We pretty much suspect that I caught on the cruise. He didn't catch it on the cruise. He was around the same people I was. He caught it pretty much on the drive home, that we're right next to each other on the drive home, or within that day of being home, that we're back into our home environment, and it's even closer things. So it's around. You have to do what you do. We take the booster shots. I'm very careful with my medications and all that kind of stuff. And cruising, we had quit vacationing, period, when I got sick, because it was too much for me. It was too much for the family. It was just too much, because I just couldn't do it. So I founded cruising, why I love it so much, aside from the adventures and where you can go and things like that, emotionally, mentally, physically, for a person who has a handicap, or I know that's that word, accessible issues or whatever, it's an easy vacation in the aspects of you're on a floating hotel, and you don't have to worry about going from place to place. And you also too is during the day or night, there's activities, all the time. If we're doing something, in the morning, my husband's a morning person, my kids on the cruise are late night kids, I'm kind of in between on a family vacation. But if we're all together and doing something, when we decide we're going to eat breakfast together, and then we're going to go sit by the pool, the grandkids want to go and go to the slides, because they have those big slide steps, and we hang out mostly during the day there and everything. But they'll go all day. And if we were out at a park, for instance, or if we were out at Disneyland or Disney World, then I would have to take the bus back to the house. My husband would be compelled to go with me, because it's a long drive, because you have to go. You have to get on the bus, walk to the bus, get on the bus to go to if you stay on campus at a resort, or if you go somewhere else. So there's like a lot of stuff, and it's it's not contained area. Whereas on the ship, I can say, hey, you know what? I've hit my wall. I need to go lay down. Sometimes to go rest sometimes means falling asleep. Sometimes it means just laying and resting my body for an hour or two. Sometimes it can be the combination of the two, and I will go and do that, and then we are now able to vacation as a family, as husband and wife, and as with friends again. And I feel having found the cruises, having found being part of the Carnival Cruise Line family. I have been able to find now a way to to enjoy vacationing with the family again, you know, to do that. So there it is. I will cruise again. We go to where we go? Jamaica, Aruba, Belize. No, not Belize. Aruba, Jamaica. Bonaire, that's the one. Bonaire. Carousel. Grand Caymans, we've been there before. That's it. Five. So in November. So we'll talk again about that when that comes. Love y'all, Bean Beauties. Thanks for those of y'all who hung around. Bye-bye. That's it. Five. So in November. So we'll talk again about that when that comes. Love y'all, Bean Beauties. Thanks for those of y'all who hung around. Bye-bye. I know. I didn't know what it was. I said, oh, it's barbecue.